Welcome back to Science Made Simple. I'm Dr. Boyd the Chemist. Today we are continuing our series on acids and bases. Today we're going to be doing the classic Cabbage indicator demonstration. Here's what you'll need. You'll need lemon juice, vinegar, water, baking soda, and ammonia. You'll also need 5 transparent glass containers. I'm using test tubes, but you can use glasses that you drink water from. You'll need red cabbage. It's also sometimes called purple cabbage. You'll need a sharp knife to chop it up with. You'll need a pot to boil it in. And finally, you'll need a strainer so that you can strain the juice from the cabbage that you boil. Previously, we'd done the turmeric indicator demonstration, in which an orange turmeric solution turns a base red. Definitely check out that video if you haven't already. This time, we're using red cabbage juice to give us an indication of whether a solution is an acid or a base. And it's even better because it has a much wider color range, and it can tell you if a solution is not only a base, but also if a solution is an acid or if it's neutral. It is for this reason that sometimes people refer to red cabbage juice as a universal acid-base indicator. For safety, we are using common household products, so safety goggles are not necessary. However, I do recommend them, particularly for small children and because we're using ammonia. Also, red cabbage juice is used as a dye, and so you may want to wear gloves and a lab coat or an apron because you might not want your clothes and your hands to get all red. Lastly, we are both chopping up our cabbage and we're boiling it. So there is both a sharps as well as a burn hazard to be aware of. This must be done with adult supervision. First, cut your cabbage in half and then cut and dice it into smaller pieces. Now, place your pot on the stove and then place your diced cabbage pieces in the pot. Now, add enough water to the pot to boil your red cabbage. Turn on the heat and boil your cabbage for several minutes in the pot. After boiling the cabbage for several minutes, strain the contents of the pot into a collection bowl, separating the boiled cabbage from the purple cabbage juice. This must be done by an adult. Allow the cabbage juice to cool to room temperature before using in the experiment. Mix a tablespoon of baking soda with half a cup of water. Then, separately fill each of your transparent glass containers about halfway up with one of the following: lemon juice, vinegar, water, baking soda solution, and ammonia. I start by adding cabbage juice to the water. Its color stays purple because water has a neutral pH. Next, I add cabbage juice to lemon juice, which is very acidic. It turns pink. Vinegar is actually the weak acid called acetic acid. It turns red when red cabbage juice is added to it. Next, I add cabbage juice to the baking soda solution, which is actually the weak base called sodium bicarbonate. It turns a strong blue color. Lastly, I add cabbage juice to ammonia, which is very basic, or alkaline. It turns a nice green color. Based on this demonstration, if I ever wanted to know if a solution is strongly or weakly acidic or basic, or even neutral, all I'd need to do is add some red cabbage juice to it and see what color it is afterward. This is a very powerful analytical tool and is similar to what scientific researchers often do in lab settings around the world.